What up, Long Beach? Welcome back to your home for everything local sports. It's JJ. Welcome back to another episode of Long Beach Sports Talk, brought to you by the fine folks at Naples Rib Company. And it's interview week here at LBST as we hit the road. Go talk to Kenrick Jameson, head coach of the Lakewood football program, as they get prepared to take on the Poly Jackrabbits this week at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We'll also catch up with Wilson Bruins head coach John Jansen as his team prepares for homecoming and a date with the Milliken Rams. Playoff implications on the line. Finally, our own Tyler Hendrickson has hit the road for a Peyton Manning-filled football trip to Tennessee and Indianapolis, and we're going to catch up with him and talk about what this weekend means to him. So a lot of local sports to get to and a lot of voices to hear from here at Long Beach Sports Talk. If you want to get more involved with this show, it's easy. We're all over the social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, PT Gazette Sports. Look us up there and follow us. And you can also subscribe to the Press Telegram or the Gazette newsletter on those respective websites. Stick with us. We got a great show coming up. First of all, Coach, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down with us in all weeks. It's Poly Week, so I know you're probably that much more busy this week. But thanks for taking the time. And does this week change? Do you change the preparation?
No, you have to remember this is my first year, so it's my first experience dealing with the game against Poly. I can tell there's extra excitement, but no, it doesn't really change too much. It's the next week, it's the next game, and we keep marching, like we've consistently been doing. So.
And what are you expecting? I know you probably have heard what some of the recent games have been like, and obviously the rivalry, as heated as it's been, has been a little bit one-sided.
It has been one-sided. As a matter of fact, Lakewood's only won 14 times in the last 54 games we've played. So, you know what? The way we look at it is we're coming in to do exactly what our goals were at the beginning of the season, and that was, we hope to be the Moore League champs. And we're going to come in and do everything we can to accomplish that. Like I said, the practice week doesn't change. The excitement is there. We can feel it. But this is, again, with it being our first opportunity, we're really excited to see what it is and what we can do about it.
Yeah, these seniors that are on the team right now were around when Jesse Scroggins and those guys got over on Poly finally in 2009. But they weren't really playing yet. Do you think that they can hone in on that feeling, the feeling that was on campus that year? They were going to the second straight semifinal in CIF that year.
I think that under Coach Mack, he did a great job at really boosting the program to head in that direction. And then with the coaching change to Loeb and Don, a little bit of that spark was lost. Not to say that Loeb and Don didn't do a great job, but anytime you try and go through the transition of change, which I'm going through right now. It's always hard to tell what they really felt from that, what they really remember, how it applies to this team. And I'm sure Vince was struggling with that as he was trying to move it forward. So right now, no, we just have to kind of look at our team and say, you know what, guys, this is our team. This is our year. We have to hone in and do what we have to do and be responsible for what takes place. So we just have to make sure we're prepared and ready and take it there instead of trying to get them to go back and kind of pick up where they left off a few years ago. Like you said, they're seniors now. We just want to make sure they're focused now to play the game under our direction, under our focus, and try and make it happen.
I'm sure you've watched plenty of film as Long Beach has on this Poly team. What are you seeing? What are the keys in the game for you guys?
Well, what am I seeing from Poly? I see great athletes, and I see a good team that they have the swag, they know they're good, and they're confident. What we're going to have to do is come out, and we're going to have to play a hard-nosed, hard-hitting football game. We're going to have to come out and prove to these guys that we are talented and we are capable, and we're going to have to make sure that we step up to a higher level of play. We have a lot of respect for Poly, but once again, we play the game because we think we can win it. And we're going to do everything we can to try and do that.
Now, last week we were talking about the Moore League and the struggles that the Moore League has seen, and one of the examples that we used was that the Lakewood Poly game had been closed for a few seasons, and then as it fell off, it kind of felt like the entire Moore League fell off. And you and I had a conversation a couple days after that story came out about how that's really not that original a storyline right now in the landscape of high school football?
Well, it's really not, especially with the challenges of a lot of the private schools, being able to lure a lot of our kids that way. And I know that Poly probably has some of the struggles as well, just keeping our kids in the area. But, when you look at the Moore League, Raul, Lara, and I, we spoke about this, about how we need to bring more respect to our league. And we're hoping that we're on the trend to move in that direction. I think that the Moore League is more than football, and when you look across the board at a lot of the other sports, there is a good Moore League presence, especially in basketball and baseball, girls volleyball, their softball. Our softball team went to state last year, but football just gets a lot of the attention. I think the Moore League is a great league. I think in the sport of football, hopefully we can, down the line, all meet together as coaches and really pull together to do what we have to do to keep our league strong and move it in the right direction.
What's one of those things that you can do immediately, like scheduling?
Well, obviously it is. There are things that we are, Lakewood is kind of attached to. For instance, our Milk Bucket game with Mayfair is a game that we pretty much have to play every year. And then, like you said, concentrating on scheduling it right in the preseason. But even more so, I think that the thing that we could concentrate most on in the off season is, like I said, getting together with the rest of the coaches in the Moore League and making sure that we do everything we can do to keep our kids here at home and to talk with our district about the things that we're going to need to get this thing going. We need a bond to upgrade our facilities, and that's for all the schools. We need to see what we can do to compete. And, as long as we're able to compete in our area, if we can bring the right facilities and continue to schedule right and become more of a force to where we can keep more of our kids at home, we will have a better output in the Moore League across the board. But right now, when you can go to a private school and get your private school education, your meals, your transportation, and everything that comes with the package with some of these kids, it's hard for us to compete with that. And the first thing the kid looks for, believe it or not, is how does the field look, how do the facilities look, and what are we wearing? And the kids want to look good and they want to play good, but and those are things that we just have to kind of catch up with. A lot of school districts have already moved to turf fields and upgraded facilities, and hopefully our school district will help us restore some pride in our area and look into some of those issues, like a bond to redo all the stadiums and facilities to help us with that.
It's funny you bring up looking good and new facilities and playing good. Your alma mater, Arizona State University, has gone through that very recently, where they've got some new uniforms, they got a new coach down there, new facilities, and actually they've come to Long Beach multiple times and gotten some really good players. Alden Darby, Richard Smith. What do you think about the Sun Devils? You going to make a run in the Pac-12?
Well, the Pac-12 is a very interesting conference. I think it's the second best conference, and it's very competitive. I mean, no one picked Utah to win last week, and that's the thing I love about the Pac-12. Every single game is a game that you have to plan for and prepare for, and I think the Sun Devils are on the right track, moving in the right direction. I'm pretty good friends with some of the guys on that staff and keep in touch with them quite a bit, and we're definitely pulling for them and looking for them to we still want to go to the Rose Bowl, but now that they've separated everything, north and south in the division, and they have a different way of going about it, I know that it's the coach's goal over there to just get into a good bowl game, and it looks like they're trending in that direction.
And that's kind of the way local football and high school football and college football is going, is small steps. You don't see programs come and bust onto the scene and just immediately become a force. You look at an Oregon, it took them almost a decade to get to where they are right now.
Absolutely.
Do you look at teams like that and think that you can do something like that with Lakewood?
There's no question. I think that there's so much promise here at Lakewood High School. We've got great athletes, and it's just a matter of keeping our kids at home, which is going to be, in our off season, our number one priority. We've got 194 kids in our program, and that's awesome for a public school program. And now it's just a matter of moving it in a positive direction and doing everything we can to keep the kids at home. There's so much going on that lures kids away, and so many opportunities that they have that they can look at, especially with the rule of the new transfer rule allows them to say, I don't have to stay at my home school if I want to go somewhere else. And that rule applies to everyone. We get the benefits of that rule too. So I'm not trying to say that it's an unfair card, but I just want to be straight up about that. But the bottom line is, there's a lot of promise here at Lakewood High School, and I think that as we continue to build it, continue to improve upon our coaching staff, build the program the way we think we can take it, I'm looking forward to a lot of great years here.
Well, best of luck this Friday, Coach, and the rest of the way. Again, we really appreciate you taking the time.
No problem. Glad to do it for you.
So big Moore League game on Friday night, playoff implications, Wilson and Milliken. It's homecoming. Yeah. Hopefully you guys can ride that momentum a little bit this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. The kids are fired up for that, for the homecoming deal. It's always a big deal. Just they're going to remember this for the rest of their life. The homecoming football game and the rally and the parade and all that kind of stuff. So, but even more importantly, it's the football game, which we've been talking a lot about. It doesn't matter that it is homecoming. It happens to be a football game, and it happens to be, for us, we're treating it like a playoff game. Playoff implications every week. It's a playoff game. We got to win to get the playoffs. So that's where we're at.
Surely you've seen Milliken film. What are you seeing from them, and what do you expect on Friday?
Physical football game and stop the run, and that's our plan. That's our goal. We slow down those couple backs they have and stop counter and ISO power and all that good stuff. And I think we'll be fine.
They've struggled recently. This year they're kind of bouncing back. You guys went through a year like that a few years back, and you bounced back. What's the key to that, especially with young kids who are so impressionable, even game to game, let alone season to season?
Just, winning kind of cures a little bit of that. So getting these kids to feel confident and feel success and get some wins under their belt, and that just will breed the right mentality to come out and work every single day. Middle of October, 6 o'clock at night, to still bust your butt in practice every day. When you haven't won a game, it's hard to get kids to do that. But when you've won 2, 3, or you're winning games now, and it's easier to do that. So
right, we wrote an article last week about the state of the Moore League, and I've been talking to some coaches, and I've been getting some interesting feedback from it. For you guys, what can you do just as one team in a league full of 7 teams to kind of pick up the Moore League as we move forward here and stop these people talking about the Moore League needs to get kicked out of the Pac-5?
Well, it's going to come. It's going to come in November. Getting into the playoffs and then having success in the playoffs. It's going to come down to then. Taking care of business then, showing that we can play against one of those private schools that have all those resources and things or whatever. It's going to take that. Until that happens, it's going to be hard.
And the league seemed to have a personality for a long time based on defense and ball control and stuff, and that's kind of gone away. Is there a future of the Moore League that you see that maybe is a little bit more of what you guys are running, where it's a high tempo, scoring a lot of points, and maybe hanging with some of those teams like Bosco who are putting up 45 points a day?
I don't know about the high tempo thing. We're trying to do it, but no one else is. No one else really is. It seems like everyone's kind of old school football. We're going to run the football, power, ISO. I think that's what Jordan wanted to do. Obviously, Milliken, Paulie's going to end up doing that in the Moore League as well. Cabrillo's running a similar style offense as we are, but other than that, I don't know. I don't know the future of the Moore League. The kids got to be able to understand it and buy into it and practice it at the tempo and then convert on Friday night. So it's been a challenge, but we'll see how it turns out these last 3 or 4 weeks. I think we'll have success running it. We've kind of figured it out. There's a newer system for us as far as the pace that we're running at. So, but our defense has been on the field a lot, and they've played well throughout the year, and they're in shape. So if we don't turn the ball over, I think we can still play at this tempo and be fine.
Well, good luck the rest of the way, Coach.
Thanks.
We are joined now by a correspondent on the move. Tyler Hendrickson is calling us from, what? You're in the Denver airport right now?
Yeah, I'm between gate A32 and A31 at the Denver airport right now.
So you're on your way for a football weekend unlike any other, and the fact that you have a layover in Denver is just far too ironic for us not to mention. I mean, you're going to Indianapolis, you're going to Tennessee. Run us down with the itinerary.
Yeah, well, it's pretty fitting. When I booked the travel a few months back, having the layover in Denver was pretty awesome. I'd like to point out that when I picked my seat for all 4 of my flights, I picked 18D. So I just wanted to quickly add that. So that's the seat I'll be sitting in for every flight. Yeah, I'm on my way to Indy. I'll get there later tonight, Wednesday night, about 7 local time. Enjoy Indianapolis for a day, and then drive down to Knoxville, which is about 5.5 hours. Get to enjoy the Tennessee-South Carolina game, which is Saturday at noon Eastern. And that's just the first part of it, JJ. That's just the very first hit. But it is worth noting that's my first game ever at Neyland Stadium. I've been to the stadium. I haven't seen a game there yet. And anybody that knows me knows I'm a lifelong Tennessee Volunteer, so I'm very much looking forward to that.
Well, you're a lifelong Tennessee Volunteer, which then lends you to being a lifelong Peyton Manning fan, which is the impetus of this entire trip to go to Knoxville and see a Tennessee game and then go back to Indianapolis and see the game that everybody's going to be talking about this weekend.
Everyone is going to be talking about it. Everyone's already talking about it. I was on the flight. They got TV, and when I got on the flight and saw the TV, they were talking about the Peyton Manning return to Indy. Then the TV shut off for the entire flight, and then when we landed, it was Jim Irsay talking about the return. It's like literally all that's being talked about right now. So yeah, I'll be there. Haven't gotten my ticket secured yet, but not too concerned about it. I'll be in Lucas Oil, and that is just going to be unbelievable. I don't even know how to prepare myself for it, honestly. Like, if you're a kid that's a Tennessee fan growing up when I did, you love Peyton Manning your entire life, basically, and I was there for his first college football game at UCLA, and, for Tennessee at UCLA in the Rose Bowl. And then now seeing his whole NFL career, I was rooting for the Colts for, 12 years, however long he was there. And now that he's with the Broncos, I'm a Broncos fan, and now seeing him in Indianapolis is going to be surreal, dude. I don't really know how to prepare myself for it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not the traditional fandom story to be so dedicated to one player going into the NFL. I think you get kind of an okay because Southern California doesn't have a team, so you didn't have to choose there, and
right.
and it's hard not to be a fan of one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But go more into that. You're going to be in a stadium that you held in very high regard. You know this. When we went to London, I went to Goodison Park, where our favorite club, Everton, plays, and
yeah.
it was like looking behind the curtain at Oz. You had watched it so many times on television, you never actually thought that you would be there. You're going to this stadium for the first time, but you're not doing it as a Colts fan. Whereas every time you watch that stadium, you did it as a Colts fan. That's so different.
It's so weird, and to be honest, I think it would be even weirder if Lucas Oil was around the whole time, because when I started rooting for the Colts with Peyton, it was at the RCA Dome, and so he was at the Dome for a while before they even built the big oil drum, and he was, obviously part of that. So, but you're right. I mean, I watched him play in that building in front of those fans, and I was cheering with those fans because I was full supporting him and his team, and then now to be wearing the visiting colors, I feel like there's going to be a lot of explaining about it. It's like, don't heckle me. I was on your side until you made the correct decision to move on from this great quarterback. You know what I mean? It's such a love situation, and I think the tone's really going to be set when they do all the pregame ceremony and they honor him and everything, and I think it's just going to be all love. You know what I'm interested to see, Jay, and I'm actually going to count this, the number of Broncos jerseys that aren't Manning jerseys at the game.
Great call.
I'm definitely going to be wearing my Denver jersey, my Peyton Manning jersey, and so I don't know if there's going to be Denver fans that are going to go and make the point of being like, no, I root for the Broncos. I'm not a Peyton Manning fan.
Now,
and I'm also interested to see how many people come up from Knoxville, because that's really not that far, and it's an historic moment. And so I wonder how many people are going to go from that game up to Indy, because I'm going to go from Peyton Manning Pass right outside Neyland Stadium to Peyton Manning passing the ball in the span of a day.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask, that Uni Watch. First of all, what swag are you bringing? Who are you trying to represent out there in the Midwest streets? And then also, was there a thought to just rock the beautiful orange 18 all weekend long, even in the drum, to be like, hey, I'm not just a fan of this guy as a Colt or as a Bronco, I'm just a fan of this guy?
Well, I definitely knew I had to wear the orange 18 in the drum, because obviously I'm there wanting the Broncos to win and wanting Peyton to play well. I thought about just being, full-on Broncos, but, obviously whenever I travel, I want to rep Long Beach, which is what I'm currently doing. And, I want to definitely enjoy the Tennessee aspect of it, so I'll definitely be wearing plenty of orange the entire trip. But, yeah, we'll see how it goes the day after the game, because if I'm on one after the game and I'm feeling myself a little bit, I might just continue wearing the jersey until I leave Monday night. Because, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of talk about it, and I know the Indianapolis fans are not going to, bear any ill will. They're probably going to be happy if Peyton plays well, even if the Colts end up losing. So, I'm gonna play it by ear, but I brought some options. Let's say I brought some wardrobe options for sure.
Nice. Well, you come back to us on Monday. Have a great weekend, man. I know you're going to be missing some football this weekend here in Long Beach. I guess you can't be everywhere.
No, unfortunately not.
So we'll make sure we do some pretty good reporting for you this weekend, so you can stay in touch with us back here.
Awesome. You always do, and of course I'll be looking for it. Yeah, I'm just going to try to soak it all in, man. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I look forward to getting back home. There's only one place where my heart is, and it's LBC, so I'll be back soon, but it'll be a hell of a trip, no doubt.
All right, travel safe, brother. Good luck. We'll see you soon.
All right, no doubt, doggy. I'll see you soon.
That's it. That's all. There ain't no more. Another episode of Long Beach Sports Talk in the books. Big weekend coming up, as always, football and everything else. Keep an eye out for Long Beach State men's basketball coverage on the websites and in the papers this weekend. Going to have their first alumni game in a very long time with some big-name 49ers coming back to the Walter Pyramid. And then Black and Gold scrimmage, first look at a new group of 49ers hoping to defend that 3-time regular season Big West Conference championship. So for everybody that's involved with the Press Telegram, with the Gazette newspapers, with this show, for everybody else, including JJ. We'll see you guys in the stands this weekend. Take care, everybody.
Are you asking me this for show purposes, or are you just asking me this as a person?
I just want to know where you are.
You got to tell me when we start recording, by the way.
Oh, the mic has been hot the whole time.
I'm ruining the tape, Fiddler.